What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf El Sanad, and today, guys, I finally got the chance to watch The Martian. And for those of you who don't know, The Martian is directed by Ridley Scott, and the story was written by Drew Goddard, who is known for writing such films like World War Z, which I love to death. And he also wrote The Cabin in the Woods, which was a very good horror satire comedy type film, which I thought was okay, but I really enjoyed it. And this film, The Martian, is based on a novel by it's actually the first published novel of Andy Weir, who I haven't even heard of before until I watched this film, and now I really want to read the story that this film is based on. And The Martian has a stellar cast that includes Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kate Mara, Michael Pena, and Jeff Daniels, Kristen Wiig, Sean Bean, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and a lot of great other great actors. And this film, guys, is a action drama slash science fiction thriller, and I really love this film, guys. Now, the basic plot, it's about Matt Damon's character, Mark Watney, who is on a mission on Mars with his teammates that include Jessica Chastain, Kate Mara, Michael Pena, and the other two actors, I don't know who they are, but they're very good. And the mission goes wrong, and Matt Damon's character gets stranded on Mars, and his team are unaware of the fact that Mark Watney, by some miracle, actually survived the sandstorm they were in. And he finds ways to cope with his situation and to try to survive as long as possible until he makes contact with NASA and he may get off of Mars and back home. And Mark Watney he finds different ways of trying to survive by growing crops which he uses his own manure to grow, which is very strange and very funny at the same time. He creates like a colonization almost in Mars, and it's pretty cool to watch him do all this kind of stuff. And guys, Mark Watney is a very, very likable character. Now, we have gotten many characters in the past who are known as being the stereotypical angry white man with a troubled past, but this character, Mark Watney, is probably the first character in a very long time who is not only likable, but charming and also relatable. And guys, I love Mark Watney, and Matt Damon is so great as this man. He's able to make him both funny and very, very realistic, and I think that Matt Damon did a great job, and it's one of his best performances by far. And I love the fact that this film is two kinds of story. One, it's Mark Watney or Matt Damon surviving on Mars and trying to make contact with NASA. The second story is about NASA trying to get Mark Watney back to rescue him, basically. And there are different conflicts in the film. The main central conflict is one man's life worth saving? And the answer is, in the film, it's quite obvious, but yes. I mean, NASA are going so far to try to save Mark Watney, but at the same time, it's a lot more complicated than it seems. And when the media gets brought in, it makes it even more complicated. And you have such characters like Jeff Daniels, who isn't a stereotypical bad guy looking out for himself and his own investment. No, he's actually a guy that's making the right decision. It's a very like, complicated situation for both NASA and Mark Watney. And I feel like this film is probably Ridley Scott's best film in a very long time. Now guys, I love Ridley Scott. I love Blade Runner. I love Alien. I love Thelma and Louise. I love like all of his other films he's done. But guys, he has made some pretty mediocre and some very bad movies I really hate. The most notable one being Exodus: Gods and Kings. Guys, I hate that movie. But thank God for Ridley Scott. He made a film which not only redeems himself, but he tells a very brilliant story, and he's able to direct this film in such a meticulous way. The cinematography is brilliant. The acting is fantastic. The story by Drew Goddard is absolutely brilliant. I love his screenplay. It's funny, and the dialogue department, it has a lot of depth in the way the characters are written, and I love the dynamic between the actors and their chemistry. And I really do love the fact that Mark Watney is a character who is so charismatic, and he's also a guy who's trying to solve every problem he gets himself into, especially on Mars, where there's no life and barely any resource. And this kind of story is so fascinating, and sure, it does get boring at times while on Earth, but on Mars it is thrilling and exciting. I love this film, guys. Now, I don't know too many flaws with this film, but I will say there are parts of the film where I wanted to sleep, and other parts where I felt that it dragged on a bit too long. But overall, this film is absolutely brilliant. I love this film, and I really wish to God that Ridley Scott would make more great films. Hell, I even like Prometheus, which is a great movie. I hope he makes a sequel to that film. And I highly recommend you guys watch The Martian, and I highly recommend you also read the novel, which I'm going to do so myself, trust me, I will. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.